unanimous decision, that petition for interlocutory injunction on her suspension has been thrown out again. What options is she left with? Or, well, I mean, if you can give me, just drop a pin in terms of where we are right now in the processes.
Well, I mean, I think for her, she's got to fight for her rights in the ongoing process. But I think any honest person knows that what is going on is politics and not law. Anybody who says that this is Article 146, 147 is either complicit in it or is being naive. Everybody knows that what is going on is politics. This was premeditated. This was pre-announced. This was pre-advertised. There are clips of, now President Mahama announcing that they have a plan to appoint more NDC persons onto the benches. They announced quite clearly that they were of the view that the benches were not favorable to them. They bastardized, the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court extensively when they were in opposition. I was part of our legal team when we were going through the last election petition. You see all the spurious remarks that are made about her on social media, calling her all sorts of names and trying very hard to link her to the MPP. And so the intention was clear ab initio. If that had not been the case, then people could actually believe that there is some innocuous constitutional process going on.
But that same constitutional provision has been used. Yes, please.
If I just may, what is going on is a pre-advertised, pre-orchestrated, pre-planned exercise, now using the legal processes as a cover. And I don't think anybody is fooled by that. But what I'll say to that is that the consequences of our actions lie ahead of us.
Speaking of which, Mahama Yariga, the majority leader, has spoken about some actions that could take place to streamline further the removal of a Chief Justice. But if I am to take the points you make that this could be, and I'm not using your words here, frivolous, maybe something that is wishy-washy and is being perpetrated with the simple aim of getting the CJ out, my curiosity then lies with the courts, the apex court. Yesterday she was in front of her own colleagues, and the petition as submitted by Godfrey Adibu-Asiedu was lost. It was unanimous. The losses at the apex court, would it in any way reflect the law, or is it that there too we are not seeing certain things?
So let me start from what my very good friend and the respected majority leader Mahama Yariga admitted to yesterday, that they intend to bring rules to Parliament to provide for what they are already doing. And I think it is an admission, it's a naked admission, that though the courts struck down the initial application that what is going on is unconstitutional because the rules or the subsidiary legislation around the exercise of this discretionary power are not in place, they are admitting that actually that is the case. And that is why they are now coming to prefer rules to try to do what they have already done. Because, for example, that prima facie determination has already been done. So what they are doing is an admission that that application held a lot of substance in it. I have said that the consequences of actions that we are all taking, they lie ahead of us. And posterity will judge all of us for the actions and the inactions and the decisions that are being made today and are being justified in what. Sometimes when I watch some of our colleagues on TV, going on and on and on, convicting her in the court of public opinion, when even her application to supplement her affidavit is being thrown out on the grounds that it discloses information that should not come out. And you have senior government officials sitting on television purportedly giving details which should not come out. You can see the double standards in it. And you can see the premeditated exercise at play. And that's why I've said anybody who is pretending that this is just an operation of Article 146 or 147, in my respected and humble opinion, is either complicit or is being naive in this, because everybody knows what
is your side also being political then? Some have suggested that your support and Godfrey Adibu-Asiedu representing her. In fact, I don't know whether it's Justice Tanko yesterday making mention of the fact, reminding the former AG that he had heard him on radio talking about some of the vexed matters that are in court. And the former AG now saying that, he was on our network and someone misled him and he said certain things. I don't know what your thinking is on that. But maybe we should then just segue into the Wontumi case, which is where we're going to wrap it up. He was picked up and the processes in between, I believe it's the Afrexim Bank and money involved. Then there's also illegal mining and all that. And I want you to tie to it the issue of Latif Idris, a colleague of ours who was manhandled by some members of the NPP. How do you see that composite of matters? What's your reaction to it?
Let me land on the Chief Justice's matter. And you were asking about what therefore do we make of members of the NPP who have, expressed concerns. And
in other words, if it's political on the side of the NDC, is it political on the side of the NPP as well?
Yes, and that's what I want to react to. You see, this sort of double standards that sometimes we want to run in this country.
Kojo, please clarify, who wants to run?
All of us.
Okay. All right.
Run in this country. I think it's something we should take a second look at. In one breath, when Mr. Godfred Dami represents the Chief Justice, then the matter takes a political color. In another breath, when the known lawyers and advocates of the NDC and even the Speaker now represent the petitioners, that one doesn't take a political color. I mean, what sort of double standards is this? It beggars belief.
It has been said. It has been said that some of the, and if you care to mention names, I mean, we could go on that trajectory. It has been said that in the selection of the CJ as suspended, Godfred Adibu-Asiedu was instrumental. Is that true or not?
Let me land my argument. You started off by alluding or invoking the question of a certain political alignment. And my response, which I'm making, and then I'll go to the Wontumi matter and come to this one that you've raised. My response is that this double standards, this hypocritical standards that all of us, the circles that we are running, are indulging in, beggars belief that in one breath, people want to make an argument that the matter takes a political color when Godfred Adibu-Asiedu serves as counsel for the CJ. And the same people who make that argument conveniently forget who the lawyers on the other side are. The same people who want everybody to believe that the matter takes a political color when Godfred Adibu-Asiedu represents the AG now develop amnesia when it comes to the lawyers on the other side. And that is why I and a lot of my colleagues have made the point that this matter is politics and not law. Because it was a predetermined, pre-orchestrated, pre-announced exercise. And what is now going on is the use of Article 146 and 147 to give color. So when you say, it's a constitutional process. It's a constitutional process. And I'm saying to you that if this was an innocuous constitutional process playing out, and there had been no advertisement, prior advertisement of the mens rea, many people may just, follow it. But because of the pre-advertised intention, it is clear to everybody what is going on.